Okay, so I generally get a lot of views from the Aldi and the Aldi Workzone, the little power fix stuff. So I thought I'd take a look at a few more things that I picked up. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at the Aldi Workzone 29-piece driver bit set. I just picked this up the other day when I saw it. Obviously, it looks like it's made more for drills as opposed to the screwdriver. You can see there's a picture of a drill there. There's obviously another one inside there. It also comes in the same case that the drill bits and the Workzone drill bits and things like that come in. These are the same cases that some of the little stuff come in as well for drills. Exactly the same. Draper seem to have the same cases as well, just stamped with Draper on there in a different colour. So I'll get this open and take a look. Okay, so if we take a look at the back of the piece of card, it says it contains 24 mixed bits 25mm, 2 times mixed bits 50mm, 1 times magnetic driver guide, and 2 times sockets. By sockets I think it means these nut drivers or spinners, as we like to call them. You can see a magnet there on the tip of that there. It's quite interesting. So you got those nut drivers, you got a 6mm and an 8mm spinner. So if you ever need a 6mm or an 8mm, you don't need to grab a socket. You can always just whack one of them on the end of your drill. Now this is a magnetic bit holder, obviously for your drill. I've already got a couple of these anyway, so it's not it's a strange thing about this. I've never seen this before, but this seems to slide up there and sit back there against this stop here on this edge, and you push it down the other way, and then you can use it as normal. I've never seen a bit holder do that, so I don't know. If anybody knows why that might be, educate me. But I doubt there's any particular reason for that. Yeah, that's definitely magnetic as well. It's best pushing them in from the top with these clips. They look like they're plastic, but they look like they may break if you try and push them back down on it, back into there, if you know what I'm saying. You got a lot of square in here, square sizes. They all seem to be number 2 as well, bar you got one that's number 1 on the one end and one that's number 3 on the other end. Don't really use a lot of these, to be honest with you. Would have been better for them to have probably stuck one square number 2, one number 3 and one number 1, and then filled it with some more Phillips or Posse sizes, or even flat ends. That would have been used more. So we've got a number which we've already got out down there, number 1 Phillips, number 2 Phillips, 3 number 2s, although this one looks in the middle there, looks slightly different. and it is. It's actually two number ones there, so that doesn't correlate to the sticker at the back. I've got two 2s and two number 1s. So that's different from the sticker. Again, we've got some more Phillips or Posse. They look like Phillips. Posse have got that little bit extra in the cut. So you know, there's not a very varied selection there, to be honest with you. Again, of the two extra long bits, you've got a number 2 Posse and another square. They like their square bits, don't they? Number 2 square. Don't really have much use for them myself, but oh, they're there. Now, they're a fairly cheap price. You're looking for some new bits. Obviously, they designed them for the drill, like we've said, but they will fit your bit screwdrivers. As you can see, as well. They're a lot. They're a decent quality, better quality bits than some of the cheaper ones that you can get out there, and they are also exactly, obviously from the case, exactly the same bits that you can pick up from other companies. From other companies for you know, for even more money that you'd outlay. So if you needed some new bits, I mean, I don't know if these ones that are gone rusty here, you see, are a bit too far gone or not, whether to get the copper brush on them. It polished up. They do go. The thing with bits is they do go rusty rather quickly. If anybody's got even the packs with the long, you know, spleen and Allen key and all them in that, they do pick up a few flecks of rust, even if you keep them nicely packaged. So there's something about the steel that they're made from that seems to attract rust rather quickly. As you can just get one of these ones, as you can see here. You can see the one side of it, and if you flick it around, you know, you can see there where it was exactly the same as those there. Now, getting the copper brush. The copper brush did have a good effect on the ones that had gone slightly rusty in my socket case. But I don't know if those ones are too far gone, so I thought for a few pounds I'd chuck these in while I was shopping. And certainly the tops, the Phillips and the flat end, are more, you know, what I use anyway. These square ones, I don't really have. I've never really had a use for them yet, I don't think. But I do generally think when it comes to Phillips that a bit screwdriver is a good idea, because Phillips do, even though I've got screwdrivers coming out my arse, all sorts of screwdrivers, the you know, the the static to all-in-one types of screwdrivers, they do, especially the Posi and the Phillips, they do eventually wear out. Doesn't matter who the brand is, how good quality they are, they do all eventually, if you use them a lot, they do all wear out. So at least with a bit screwdriver, you wear the bit out and throw it away, and buy another bit, or use another bit if you've got a few more, like here, and you've still got your screwdriver still in perfect use, and you can use it with other bits as well, and Allen key bits and whatever. That's a good thing about these bit holding screwdrivers, or the ratcheting type bit holding screwdrivers like this, which obviously allow you to ratchet as well. So yeah, for a couple of quid they're worth buying. Exactly the same thing as sold by other manufacturers in exactly the same packaging, just been relabeled and re-stamped. Can't really see anything other than that on there. I suspect they're probably Chinese or Taiwanese. It's been re-stamped. I know the Draper ones have got the same box. I can't remember if it was Sealy or not, so I can't be 100% certain on that. But I might have seen their boxes look pretty much the same as well. So you got it there as well. The only difference with this was there was 2 PH1 Phillips screwdrivers and not you know, the extra Phillips like it said, but there is a hell of a lot of Phillips in there anyway, in PH2, so you really don't have to worry. You're not going to be missing out there on those. You can obviously, I mean, this is exactly the same colour scheme as the Lidl masonry drill bit box. You can see that it's, you know, it's exactly the same kind of thing. It's a little bit thicker, you know, but it's the same pattern on there. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, they've all come from the same place. It's the same with the Draper ones that have come from that got the same packaging as well, in my opinion. But for a few quid, if you want some new bits, I'd recommend picking them up. There's nothing too bad with them. The bits all go rusty, and bits all go you know, they all wear eventually, especially the Phillips ones. So instead of paying for the same product from another company, exactly the same product repackaged, you know, £10 or whatever, £8 to £10, you might as well pick these up for a couple of pounds if they're ever in when you're there. They're still in when I went there the other day, so they're one of them things that a few of the stores might have lingering around in the on the shelves there. As I say, usually some of the stuff in there is, once it's gone, and you have to wait for it to come back around and come back in again. But this should be one of the things that's still there. Actually, we've kind of worked out what this bit holder is for when it slides back and forwards. It actually alludes to it there on the picture as well, actually. That's how away with the fairies I must have been. The thing is obviously designed so you can drive your screws in square. You know, that will obviously it'll only work on the screws with the smaller heads, because a bigger head's not going to fit down the diameter of the opening there. But obviously that goes on there and stops the screw from you know, wandering left, right and centre. And but the trouble is, you've still got a bit of play, so good idea in theory. And then once you you know, the screw goes down and into the thing, your bit will emerge as that's then driven in. to the wall, but like you say, there's you know, there's still a lot of play in there anyway, so you know, you've still got a wobble in there, so it probably doesn't really make much odds. It's probably only going to be very useful on rare screws that are just about big enough to get away with fitting down that diameter there, and are quite thick, so they won't it won't really move that much. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Probably not that ingenious of a design either, really, to be honest, because it doesn't really do much. It doesn't really do what it's supposed to do, really, because there's still enough wobble on the screw when it's in there. But that's obviously what it's for. You can see there quite clearly as well on the thing there that it holds the screw straight as you drive it in, but as you can just see by the demonstration, it doesn't really do that.